Welcome to 843 TV. I'm your host, Lisa Richardson. We're excited to be with you today, and we're going to be talking to Josh Gruber, who is the Deputy Town Manager for the town of Hilton Head Island, talking about some very important community issues on hand. Also, we have our friend Heather Rath, who's always exciting and energetic, telling us what is happening on Hilton Head Island to get out and do, especially now in this beautiful fall season. So stick around for this episode of 843 TV, where communities come to speak.
.843 TV, where the Lowcountry comes to speak.
.843 TV,
where communities come to speak.
Welcome to 843 TV. We're excited to be here with you today and talking with Heather Rath, who always has such great, exciting information and fun events happening on the island. Good to see you again.
Good to see you again. Thanks for having me back this month.
Absolutely. Speaking of that, it is past Labor Day and it is fall season.
I know. Fall on Hilton Head this best.
Absolutely. Beautiful. And here literally went from heat of summer last week to fall weather, which is awesome.
So, I know, it's nice. You kind of have a little sweater weather going on.
Yeah, so a lot of good stuff to talk about. And let's start with what's going on.
Yeah, so, we're starting to see a return to in-person events here on the island, and that's always exciting, especially when you can do it masked and distanced. Coligny Theater, they are just doing a killer series on Wednesday. They reopened the theater a couple of weeks ago, and again, it's at all the capacity and masking and all of that good stuff. They're doing a series called Way Back Wednesdays for back to school. And so they did Dazed and Confused. And tonight is Dirty Dancing. And they're also doing Clueless and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. So again, a fun way to just kind of ease back into the movie scene, grab your popcorn, enjoy a movie atmosphere, and see some throwback movies. In addition, Native, the band Native, is actually playing at Coligny Theater. And so that's fun, kind of a return to concerts. But again, everything spaced and distance and very low capacity numbers.
I think people have been doing well with that. As I am out and about in public and even going to different things, I think people are doing very well with that.
Absolutely. Another thing happening at Coligny, the Artists Market with the Art League. So Coligny is partnered with the Art League of Hilton Head, and they're doing Fourth Fridays all fall. And so September 25th, it's the fourth Friday, they're going to be out there with all of their artists and selling art. And so it's a great way to shop local, support local.
Absolutely. I don't know how you remember all these great things, but there's a lot going on here. Let's talk about the paddle battle, which we talked about last month, but it's happening now, coming up soon.
Yep. So the Lowcountry Paddle Battle, it's with the Outside Foundation, sponsored by WHHI. So registration is closed out. I'm one of the ones registered. I'm kayaking in it. So it's happening, and you can go out and go to Hudson's or in Skull Creek and watch the paddle battle happen, and then enjoy great Lowcountry food. And there's an after party at Fish, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, what a beautiful spot to just be a spectator for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so as we move on, one more thing, a plant sale. We were talking about this earlier. The Native Island plant sale sounds so fun. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is also with Coastal Discovery Museum, and they have this every April, and it was canceled due to COVID, but they're having it coming up, and it's a great chance for you to stock up on your Native Island plants. So these are plants that really work on Hilton Head Island, and so I always go and buy a couple bushes and a couple flowers and see how they do. They always do really well because they're native to our area.
Good stuff. So instead of going to Home Depot and getting the regular stuff, just give this a try. And plus a great time to, again, be out in the fall.
Yeah, and be out at Coastal Discovery Museum.
Some new things coming up. It's the Al's Aloha Kitchen. It's hard to say. It's kind of a tongue twister. Al's Aloha Kitchen.
Yeah, so Al's Aloha, they're doing a Hilton Head Island Holistic Chamber and an immunity community event. And so this is a distance event where holistic leaders and practitioners will be on site to talk about how to improve your immunity, which I think is something that we all need right now.
Absolutely. Just a great way, especially since we're going into flu season coming up too, on top of everything else. And just when you're healthier inside and outside, I think you can weather some of the little illnesses, colds, and little things like that too,
Absolutely. Bikram Yoga. I do Bikram. I love it. And they're doing $5 Bring a Friend. So again, this is something new. If you've never tried it before, this is a wonderful way for you to try it out. And again, it's a $5 Bring a Friend class.
That's something I haven't done yet. So I'll give
come
that
with
a
me.
try.
Yeah, come with me. Another thing that's new, Santa Elena Foundation has merged with Coastal Discovery Museum.
That's
And
wonderful.
I
That is
know.
really
So
great.
I don't know if you know about Santa Elena, but it's the first century that happened right here in the Beaufort County. It was known as the Beaufort District. So
I don't think there's many. I've learned about that just through doing the shows and so forth, but I think there's many who don't really know the history. Formerly, that was in Beaufort. I believe.
Correct. It was at the Santa Elena History Center, and they have merged with Coastal. And so there is a display. It's a 1,000 square foot display, a traveling exhibit that they have put together from now until I think December, where you can learn about the first century and you can learn about Santa Elena. And it's 150 years of archaeology research that has been combined into this exhibit. So
Sounds like a great thing to do with your students that might be
Oh,
that are home right
right,
now doing
right.
virtual school, whether they're in school or not. It's just
Yeah.
a great little family field trip or make your own field
yeah,
trip. right?
absolutely. And it's free. I mean, donations are always accepted, but I think that's it. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah. It always amazes me the history that is in our area that so many people don't know. And it's just a wonderful way to get out and learn. What a great thing to do.
Absolutely. And speaking of history, the Heritage Library is doing online classes. And so there's two that are kind of on my radar. One is Starting Your Family Ancestry Research. That's on the 23rd of September. And again, this is all via Zoom. It's an hour-and-a-half long class, so it's easy to digest. And then a couple days later, they're doing the First Families of Hilton Head Island. And again, that's a great local history that you can sit at your computer, drink your cup of coffee, and watch a Zoom. And they've been really successful with their online classes since spring. And so this is something that I'm excited about.
Well, it's, of course, political season.
Yes.
Coming on the home stretch now till November elections. And of course, besides the big presidential elections, there's a lot of local elections that we need to be focused on. So let's talk about some of those. Let's talk about what's happening with Tom Davis and what he's survey he's doing. And
yeah, so we're super lucky. Our state senator sits on the Senate Finance Committee, which makes all of the budgetary decisions, refers all the budgetary decisions to the full legislature. And they're going back next week to look at a lot of money for allocations. And so Tom Davis sent out a survey. I'm pretty sure everybody got it in their mailbox. It's also available online if you do not get it, because he wants to know what his constituents think about spending that money. So I really encourage people to go online and take the survey. You can find it on Tom's website.
And this is very important to do because we so often disagree with things and how things are allocated, but this is our chance to have a say.
Absolutely. You can weigh
Mm-hmm.
in, and there's information on there from education to COVID to, giving money back to taxpayers. I mean, there's a lot of different options on there. So I encourage everybody to fill out that survey. Another thing that's also community-based and constituent-based is Alex Brown. He's running for council, and he is doing a series of community conversations with Alex. This is every Friday at 5 p.m. at the Sailing and Rowing Center. It's a simple pop-up, again, distanced, masks encouraged. He had the first one last week. I think there were about 15 people there. And it's just a great time to talk about issues facing the island, and especially Ward 1.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've got community conversations going on. We've got a lot going on. And it's important to remember to register to vote.
Right. So there's a couple of things on registering to vote. So first of all, you can check out at sevotes.gov and see if you're registered and make sure that your registration is up to date. You have to do that. You can register for an absentee ballot. You can send in your information on that. And what's really exciting is a bunch of advocates got together and they really pushed hard for the Beaufort County Elections Board to have on-island early voting. So this is something that's previously been open in Bluffton, I think off Ulmer Road. I've used it once or twice when I've had to go out of town on actual election day, but it's a place where you can go and early vote. And so that's going to happen here on our island at the Beaufort County building, in between Folly Field Beach and Port Royal. I go there to pay my car taxes.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. The tax place.
The tax place. So they're going to have early voting, and I believe it opens the first week in October. So again, if you're going to be out of town during the normal election, if you're concerned about your absentee ballot, or if you just want to go and vote early, a lot of people just want to do that to avoid the lines on election day. That's all.
Another good reason just to avoid the long lines.
Absolutely.
For sure. So very important. Everyone register to vote, get out and vote. Most important thing we want to make sure we do to express our rights. And last, before we wrap up real quick,
To fill out the census.
fill out the census.
We need
Absolutely.
to fill out the census, especially here on Hilton Head. It's a great source of funding for us, and it's super important that everybody fills out their census.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Register to vote, fill out your census, and get out in the town and do some of these wonderful things that are happening. And of course, I know I'll see you out there.
Yes.
And we hope to see you out there too. So stay right here. We're going to be back with more 843 TV.